I'm Martin Anderson down in Studio B. Studio B sessions brought to you by Sierra Nevada Brewing Company. New music, old music, in between music. It's all coming your way now with some young lads here in Studio B. It's Tony Furtado. Welcome back, Tony.
It's good to be back.
It's great to have you here.
Always good to stop at WNCW.
Right on. Well, from way out in Portland, Oregon, you traveled a fur piece to get here.
Oh, yes, we did. Yesterday.
Yesterday.
It was all-day travel.
Really? Was
Yeah.
it? Didn't you play last night?
Yep.
Oh, gosh. So a long travel day to play last night, I guess the Evening Muse?
Evening Muse,
Yeah.
yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
Bet that went well, though. Once you hit the stage, any kind of jet lag and all just kind of disappears, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the thought.
That's the thought.
I don't know where my brain was last night, but it's catching up right now.
Good, good. Well, you're here in Spindale, and you brought a fine fiddler here, Mr. Luke Price, also
Yeah.
from Oregon, right?
Howdy, yeah.
Howdy. All right, cool. So banjo, fiddle, and more, because Tony Furtado with Luke Price are playing tonight in Asheville at American Vinyl, one of the newer venues in Asheville.
Yeah, I'm excited about that.
Great, great. I've
Yeah.
been hearing great stuff about them.
Good.
Yeah. So why don't you start off with a tune, and we'll
Yeah.
reconnect.
That sounds good. This is the lead-off track from my new album that's called Decembering. This is a tune I wrote called Squirrelville.
Squirrelville from Tony Furtado on WNCW with Luke Price on the fiddle. Nice to hear both instruments all warmed up on this kind of chilly gray morning.
That felt pretty good.
Yeah.
You know?
It was fun.
Yeah, it felt good.
You know what? It sounded good too.
Good. I'm glad.
So does the record.
Well, thank you.
All instrumentals, all original tunes by you on an
Yeah.
album called Decembering.
Oh, except for one.
Oh, there is one.
There's a Beatles cover.
Yeah, a Sunny song
Yeah.
from them that wraps it up. That's nice to have that one at the end, a little something that folks might be familiar with.
I had that worked. I had worked that one out years ago,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it just sat there in one of my booklets, and I'd never recorded it, and it just felt like the right time to put out "Here Comes the Sun."
Yeah, after otherwise, what, a dozen or Baker's dozen tunes, all original ones. I don't know. You listen to any of these songs, and you hear your old time background, your bluegrass background, Celtic for sure.
Mm-hmm.
You really have a kind of a very progressive sound that one Tony Trischka, also on the
Right,
banjo,
yeah,
would have,
yeah.
and of course he
Did
loves
some
your
notes for me.
record, and he was on there too. So yeah, all those influences that you do so well when you play traditional music, they come through with these original tunes.
Well, thanks.
You obviously, well, for folks who don't know, you also write a lot, and you wrote songs that you sing. I guess more singer-songwriter compositions. But these instrumentals, is there a particular way they kind of come to you, and do they come to you differently than the ones that you write songs? I mean, you must have all these traditional tunes in your head, but these ones germinate somewhat from that.
Yeah, and I think my approach now is different writing tunes than it was before I wrote songs, if you know what I mean. I've almost always tried to think lyrically when I wrote instrumentals. I think about like creating a melody that's really that you can sink your teeth into. But now even more than then, because I sing a lot more than I did back then. So when I'm writing the melody, I'll sit and I'll let it really ferment for a while and distill it down to what really is packs the best punch. Whether it's something I'm trying to create some emotion or just some good momentum and just pull people in.
Yeah. Do they tend to come right immediately following listening to certain trad tunes or any other kind of artists?
No, not necessarily. Usually it's banjo in hand or guitar in hand, whatever instrumental I'm writing. I have the instrument in my hand, and sometimes it's just you're fiddling around with the instrument and little thing just pops up out of nowhere. And that's the germ of the idea that you follow. It's the same for me I do sculpting. I'm a ceramic sculptor, and I find that some of the best pieces are when I'm just in that kind of very free space where I'm not having to think too much about anything, and I'm just kind of going with whatever happens, And then once you get down a path, you follow that path. It's the same thing with tune writing.
Yeah.
And songwriting. I mean, it can
too.
be the same way unless you have a preconceived notion of what you're writing a song about,
Yeah. I imagine you're probably a pretty good teacher. Do you do songwriting workshops and stuff? Or
I haven't.
Lessons? No, you haven't?
No, I mean, I've done banjo and slide guitar workshops,
Yeah.
plenty of those. But
Okay.
I don't know. Someday I might do a songwriting workshop. I've done tune writing workshops before. But
Yeah. Well, I'm thinking, especially with this album, Decembering. I mean, by your previous work too, it really shows you got quite a library in your head of tunes you've written, and it'd be neat to be able to impart that upon others, and I think you have.
Yeah.
Certainly with your concerts. And your fiddler here, Luke Price, you're at Lewis and Clark College as a instructor there to some extent.
Yeah,
Professor
I
there?
teach some private lessons there.
Private lessons.
And some at home, and then play music.
Yeah.
Mostly.
And is it mostly an old time background that you have?
I grew up playing what's called Texas style old time fiddling. So they improvise over the melody a lot more. And then I got into all kinds of other stuff, at Berkeley.
Right. Talk about that, if you would, the Texas old style. They improvise more over the melody.
Yeah, there's a lot of old time styles where they're just going to play that melody, and it's more about just getting into a groove. So these guys that were predominantly in the Texas area, but all around that southern region there, they got tired of playing the same thing. So each person kind of had their own take on the tune, and as that happened, people, oh, that's a cool little thing that he did. I'm gonna fold that into my thing, and it just became really improvisatory.
Yeah.
And so they try to play it different every time. A lot of those guys. So I grew up learning that style, and that, of course, goes right into the Western swing kind of stuff.
Right.
And you
Yeah.
get into other swing and jazz and then somehow into soul music. I don't know how that happened.
Okay, yeah. Well, it's a fun lineage. It's kind of like more like a tumbleweed, speaking of Texas, of all
Yeah.
those styles, morphing into that Western swing and then into the soul and jazz and all. And
Luke is a 3-time national fiddle champion, in
Yeah.
fact, of that style that he was talking about before.
right, that Texas old time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he's got a really wonderful band with his wife Rachel that they call Love Dean, and they're just released a new album that's absolutely gorgeous. It's original music that's soul, vintage soul pop kind of sound
Yeah.
to it.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Different than what we're hearing today.
Totally,
Yeah.
yeah.
Different
Yeah.
part of the brain, maybe.
Yeah.
All right. Love Dean. We'll have to
Yeah.
check that out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We'll have to
Yeah.
track down their music. I think I read that you were doing some teaching of fiddle as early as age 15 or something like that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Actually, I had more students when I was 15 than I ever have since then. I don't know. There's something about Idaho that people just want to learn to play fiddle. I guess in
There's a
Boise.
lot of Idaho fiddlers, aren't there?
Yeah, it's a little tradition.
I'm picturing it was a really big recess time on the playground.
Oh, yeah.
High school. No, it's 15 high school. It wasn't.
Yeah.
That's great, man. Starting young.